One additional thing that we need to think about when we're talking about diction is the difference between connotation and denotation. Denotation simply means the literal dictionary definition of a word. Um, the connotation, however, refers to the ideas or the emotions or the feelings that go along with the word. Feelings and emotions and ideas that would be commonly held within a culture or with a group of people. So let's see what we can do with this to kind of unpack these ideas and see why they matter. Let's use the word rose, for instance. Think about for a moment the difference between the denotation of the word rose and the connotations that might go along with it. So if we've got this, and if I ask you, well, what is this? Define for me the word rose. One way of doing that would be to give the denotation. And we'll go to Wikipedia here. It gives a fairly decent literal meaning of the word rose. A rose is a woody perennial of the genus Rosa within the family Rosaceae. There are over 100 species. They form a group of plants that can be erect shrubs, climbing or trailing with stems that are often armed with sharp prickles. And while that might actually give us a literal definition of what rose means, I think you would agree that that doesn't quite capture what a rose is all about. Most people, when they think about roses, this comes to mind, something about love or beauty. You know, there's a reason why roses are often featured on Valentine's Day. There are connotations that go along with the word rose. When we hear it, we automatically think, because of the culture in which we live, about love, about Valentine's Day, about all of these other emotions and ideas that go along with that word. So you can imagine, I think, that anytime you see a poet use the word rose, at least within Western culture, that you should be importing all of these ideas about love and friendship with that word, and that the poet intends you to do that. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that these connotations come from the way in which a word is used in the culture broadly defined. It may very well be the case that this is you, allergic to roses. They make you miserable, they make you unhappy, they make you feel awful. Yet, you can see that it wouldn't be fair to say that the word rose has these connotations across our whole culture. When you read the word rose in a poem, just because they make you feel miserable, you shouldn't assume that the poet intends to bring those ideas to mind. The poet instead is playing with the idea that roses have certain connotations that most of us in our culture understand and will agree to. So to recap, denotation, the literal meaning of the word; connotation, the ideas associated with that word. These are going to be pretty important in figuring out the meaning of a poem, to keep in mind particularly the connotations, because poets are constantly playing with that idea and expecting you to be doing the same. So give some thought to that as you're reading.